Hello. My makeup's all runny. Ugh, I've had a rough day. Just don't mind me. Hi, I'm live. Welcome, guys. Figured we would chat a little bit. Yeah, so let me get some things figured out here. Um, how is everybody tonight? I feel so tired. So tired. My eye looks super red. I am a mess, an absolute mess. But hello, I'm so glad that everybody is joining me. Um, Tonight, as far as topics go, I'm not really, I don't really care about what we talk about. So we could do some recent cases I've covered, we could do something you guys want to talk about, um, just really anything. I probably won't be on super long, but I do want to go live and hang out with you guys. So, um, how is everybody doing? Um, One of the cases that I got recommended to me is a very extensive case, and so I am debating on doing it or not. So I kind of wanted case suggestions as well on something that I could do deep dive into, because it's kind of been my thing lately, and it might be my thing for a long time. I don't know. See, um, but I have been doing these super involved deep dives, like to the point where I'm like, they're 10 parts and plus, and I've really liked doing these deep dives. They're a lot of fun. Hi, Strange but True. I watch all your videos. I'm such a fan. Hey. Oh. Um. So yeah, I've been doing these like super deep dive cases, and I like them. I like being able to tell every part of the case. Um, but I'm just not sure that that's like where I want to be forever, but we'll see. I know that it's something that a lot of creators don't do. There's a lot of creators that are just like one video and done, and they kind of smush everything in. Um, and so I'm just not sure if like what I want to do is that, or if I want to switch it up and I just want to keep on doing these long deep dives. I think I can present more information in a long deep dive. Um, but it's also very extensive on the researching side. It's like weeks and weeks of just researching and um, knowing everything about the case. Oh shucks, I am a fan of yours as well. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad that we're friends. Um, I love the content that you're making. It's really cool, and I like the layout of what you're doing. So, yeah. Um, it's kind of interesting because there's a couple of creators that I've really made friends with, and like I talk to, and or I like watch everything that they do. And what's interesting is we always end up covering like along the same cases, and it's like almost like we're reading each other's minds from a distance, because it's like it's pretty crazy. Like I'll do a case and then I'll get on and I'll like look at my friend's new video and I'm like, you were doing the same case as I did. And we didn't talk to each other. We didn't know about it. So it's kind of interesting. It's like it's a weird mind thing, or maybe it's just what's popular right now. I don't know. So I did want everybody's opinion on the deep dives. Um, it's one of the things like I'm really mulling over in my head if I like doing them, if they're worth it, if people like doing it. Um, if I should go back to just doing one and done like a lot of people do, um, or if the deep dives are really educational and people like them, then I'm more than willing to do them. Um, I started with JonBenet, and it's kind of funny because I have just been obsessed with the JonBenét case for my whole life, it seems. And so it was really easy for me just to pick that case as my first case, go super all in, and just know everything because I had already known so much about it. And it's kind of funny because Ellen Greenberg, which has been, I had Idaho and then I had Ellen Greenberg. See, I'm getting them all mixed up already. But Ellen Greenberg, I had been interested in for a very, very long time. And I thought it was a really good one to do a deep dive on. So I kind of had it on my list already to begin with. And then I saw that the podcast, or the new, not podcast, I can't think, the new documentary came out. And I was like, oh, this is a really good time to do the Ellen Greenberg case because people are more interested in watching it and learning about it. So that's why I did Idaho and Ellen Greenberg so back to back, is because I was like, I've got to pump out Ellen Greenberg while there's renewed interest in the case and people are talking about it. Because to me, like, I want to do a case that's going to be impactful. People are going to resonate with it. And especially with an unsolved case, like making it relevant helps people be like, oh, I should really look into that and really do something about that. So that's kind of why I pushed that out back to back. It was literally Idaho ended and Ellen Greenberg started. And it was like constantly updating on all kinds of stuff. I feel like that case is just never going to be over. It's never going to be over for me. Hi, Residue Podcast. Love them as well. I have some really, really good friends on here. Like, awesome, amazing, true people that come and really pay attention to my stuff. It's really cool. I try to keep things short, too. Hopefully make people dive deeper. Yes. So it's kind of like, I don't know, there's pros and cons to doing deep dives, and there's pros and cons to doing shorter content. I don't know, sometimes I feel like I've got a whole case up here, and I just got to get it out, if that makes any sense, because I'll obsess over it. I had been just obsessing over it to the point where, like, I would lay in bed at night and watch videos on it instead of actually, going to bed. And I was like, I got to get this out of my brain. I got to get all these questions out of my brain. And that's why I did the Idaho 4, is because I was just so interested, and there's just so much weird in that case, and it was just perfect timing. So, I don't know. Right now I'm kind of doing a mix. Like, what's kind of interesting about me is I'm kind of testing content all the time. Testing what I feel makes me happy. A lot of people have given me the advice of doing content that I want to do and not what everybody wants to see. And that is so hard as a content creator. And especially in the realm that we're in, because I want people to make change. I want people to talk about the cases and the people and the subject matter. So I want to do like a deeper dive, but I'm also I very much love, you can see Gus in the background. I very much love the shorter content as well. I don't know, I'm just stuck. I don't know what to do. Like I said, I got requested to do a long form deep dive that it's going to literally take me a couple of weeks to put together. And I just don't know if I want to do it or not. I don't know. I really want to expand into podcasts, but my research time limited with my job and family and such. So totally, this is one of the biggest problems right now for me is I want to do TikTok and true crime full time. That I want to make that my job. But I've got a life. And I've got to support my family and I've got to live, and so doing both is a lot. A lot. And I can't imagine like a podcast on top of it, but I've done podcasts before. And what's kind of cool about podcasts is you can do it once a week. So what I did when I started the podcast that I did was I batched tons of content. I had like a month worth of video research done, and then I started recording. That way I'm a month ahead all the time. So I would have a month worth of videos recorded, edited, ready to go, and then I would just keep recording. And that really helped keep up. I would pick a day to do like recording and try to record 2 videos if I could, or 2 podcasts if I could. And so, since it's once a week, my podcast was, it was a lot easier to do it that way and batch content and the whole thing. I love doing podcasts. I feel like podcasts are less work than videos because with podcasts, you're kind of just running your words. You don't have to edit. Like I feel like on TikTok, I'm editing every single breath. On a podcast, it's just you talk and you have a lot less editing. It's a lot funner too, in my opinion, because you can do things with it. You can, make intros, get the audience involved in a different way. With TikTok, it's like straight to the point. Done. But I've thought about also doing a podcast at some point. It's just so much to think about when you have to make ends meet and do all of that. So yeah, it's definitely a process, and I think everyone right now is dealing with it. The update happened, and it was like, I don't know what's happening. Like all my content tanked. Everybody's content tanked. October's been a rough month. So hopefully it'll get back now in October and like really pick up, especially for our content around Halloween. It's so funny because back when I was doing the podcast and I was doing YouTube, I would do like an everyday episode for October because it was Halloween. And now I do 3 or 4 videos a day and I'm exhausted. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just playing around with things. Like I have this idea of what I want in my mind, how I see my career in this going. I have so many ideas, so much up here, and no one to talk to about it because I talk to creators, but I never really talk to them like that, like about what I'm feeling or how the process is going or anything. And life has just been lately, like mind-blowingly hectic, crazy. This year for me has not been great, so just hoping for a good end of the year for sure. You should cover Candace Owens' coverage on Charlie Kirk. So that's very interesting. Yeah, I haven't really been paying attention too much to that, so I don't know. Maybe I'll have to look into it. We'll see. But yeah, okay, back to the deep dive suggestion. What do you guys want to see as a deep dive, or as videos, or as, anything like that? Any suggestions other than the one that I could do? Because I got suggested a case and I want to do it, but it's extensive and I'm just not really sure. know. Oh, I sell manufactured homes. My wife drives over the road. My life is hectic. Oh. Well, if you ever start your podcast, let me know. I have all the details on a lot of the stuff that you're going to need and what, how I kind of went through everything. I will definitely answer any questions if I can. You probably know more than I do. I'm not the tech person in my family, that's for sure. I don't know how I edit and do all these videos when I'm just not the tech person in my family. Anything new going on as far as true crime? Do I have a Discord? I do not. Let's look up some true crime news, shall we? I feel like there isn't too much going on right now. There's the David situation. The David and Celeste thing. That, I feel like there's new stuff about that case all the time. He is going down. That's for sure. Like, he had a very inappropriate relationship with that girl. And I really hope he gets arrested soon. Let's see. Move you over for just a second. Hi, I love your videos. You are so pretty. Oh, thank you. So nice. Yeah, I had the whole makeup going today, but it got all rubbed off because I was just like I was not having it. Not having it. I'll probably wash my face after this and go to bed, to be completely honest. But I try. It's so funny when people ask me for makeup advice or say my makeup is good because I was never that girl. And I don't wear makeup usually on a daily basis like this. Usually my makeup is reserved for like the weekends, Saturday when I record and everything. So yeah, people are like, you have such good makeup. I'm like, I don't know about that. Okay, let's see. Hello, welcome in. Welcome in. So let's talk a little bit about the David situation, because like I said, I feel like there's something new every single day with this. So David is a singer. I knew his stuff from TikTok, but I didn't listen to him like a bunch. I saw this girl post a video where she had a David tattoo, and I was like, oh no. Ooh. But so he basically had I'm trying to watch what I say. A person in his trunk, and it ended up being this, I want to say, little girl. I mean, she was like 15, 16, I think. But Celeste, I've talked about her a little bit on my video, on my page. But the more and more comes out, like, he was dating this young girl. And yes, so he had turned 18, and they, I guess, had dated when they were both underage. But he had gotten older, and she's still underage. And he was dating her, and I believe he did something to her. It's crazy. Anybody following the case? Any new updates? it's I feel like the world just gets more and more sad every day. Oh, thank you. Hello? Okay. Um, that took me to a YouTube video. Um, Hi guys, welcome in. We're just talking true crime. If anybody has any suggestions on what to talk about, please let me know. Right now we're just going through true crime news and just looking at different updates. So, this one had been brought to my attention. I think I'm going to do a video on this. Oh my gosh. So, Colorado man accused of taking and unaliving his roommate and then telling people that this person unalived of pneumonia. Yeah. So this dude, this was in Colorado, Pueblo, Colorado. Authorities arrested 43-year-old man on suspicion of unaliving his roommate in 2022 and telling people he had pneumonia. On September 25th, 2022, detectives responded to a field after they found remains in a shallow. A body scan determined the victim suffered trauma to the head. The victim was later identified as 39-year-old Stephen Robinson. He was originally from South Carolina but moved to Pueblo in 2017. So he was living with the guy that did it. And this dude told his landlord and his friends that this person passed of pneumonia. That's so sad. Not only that, he was accused of taking from his roommate a bunch of money. It was military disability payments, and those were just deposited for more than a year after he was unalived. So that's the number one top story right now on True Crime News, and I see why. I hope that man goes down. That's insane. Let's look at the number two story. A man accused in 1994. Okay, so they got this 52-year-old man for kitchen utensil. A woman, a 20-year-old woman who was pregnant more than 3 decades ago. On April 17th, 1994, Tina Hines was more than 24 times in her apartment. She was reportedly 15 weeks pregnant at the time. Her husband was on duty. The victim's brother-in-law, Chad Hines, reported the incident and was later convicted of her unaliving. Authorities said he was released nearly 11 years into his sentence after DNA was found at the scene that ruled him out. Upon a further investigation, detectives identified this man, Michael Zegler, as the primary suspect. He was a close friend of Tina Hines' husband. He stood next to the Hines couple on their wedding day. I don't want to people anymore. People are just absolute dicks. I don't know what I can say. I don't know what I can say. let's look at another one because this is kind of fun. Kind of interesting, right? Man arrested after missing woman found unalived in the attic. This was in California. Police recently arrested a man on suspicion of unaliving a 28-year-old missing woman whose remains were found in the attic. Ugh. Oh, it's Vallejo Police Department. September 28th. Oh, you passed out on me. September 28th, Raina Lewis was reported missing, and officers responded to home but were unable to find her. The following day, they had an alert for her. The investigation led them to the residence. They discovered a concealed entry into the attic. Upon further investigation, they identified 41-year-old Douglas Shaw as the primary suspect. That's just so sad. That's just so sad. Oh, thank you for following my Insta. I don't post much on there anymore. I mainly do TikTok and a couple other platforms, but I can't say them. But mainly TikTok. So yeah. What's been going on with me lately? Back to school came. So there's been a lot of events at the school that I've been doing with my kiddo and just hitting up family life, trying to create as much quality content as I can as far as TikTok goes. It's hard out here. It's hard out here to have a job or have a family or anything like that and create quality content. It's really hard. And a lot of big creators don't really understand that because they've kind of had an overnight success type of thing. And I'm not saying everybody, but there's a lot of creators that have an overnight success and they don't understand what it's like to work your way up from the bottom, literally from zero. So, yeah. Oh, I want to talk about true crime documentaries for a second because I did a video on TikTok about new true crime documentaries that are coming up, and one of them is My Father BTK. So I did this case over on my YouTube. So if you have, if you have that, you can go over and watch it. But I did like a big deep dive about BTK because I grew up 30 minutes from Wichita, and so I knew the BTK case in and out. And it's brutal. It's hard to hear. Bryan Kohberger case is interesting. Yes, so I've been doing a lot of the Bryan Kohberger case. And like I said, I feel like it's just never ending with that case because it's just update after update after update. So I'll be doing that case for a long time, I have a feeling. But I grew up by Wichita, so I knew a lot of BTK. I knew people that knew him personally. It's crazy. There was a lot of talk about BTK. We were supposed to lock our doors, make sure, nobody came in. It's that level of terror that this man did. And his daughter is coming out with this documentary that she's in. And it talks about how she found out that her father was BTK, about how she dealt with everything. And I cannot imagine being her and being in her shoes, because not only is he a complete monster and he did all that he did, but he also stood up in court and talked about it like it was just another Tuesday. And that just just baffles me. I'm like, how do these people just do that? Just talk about so nonchalantly like he did. Because he very much talked about it like it was another day. So I'm very interested in watching anything on BTK, because, like I said, I'm just so close to that case. I knew a lot about it, and it's very interesting to me that I grew up so close to it. So I might be covering that a little bit here and there. It's going to definitely be a thing. You can really see her ear, but it's my dog down there. Yeah. Okay, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and head to bed. I've got some editing to do that I've got to do. I just wanted to hop on real quick and just talk to y'all, see kind of your opinions on everything. I'm going to try to do some lives more. I'm not great at it. I need practice. So I need to start doing it a little bit more. What I'd like to do is do once a week or twice a week, do a missing persons case, a true crime case, and discussion, and have like that be a couple hours on here, kind of like a podcast. If you guys would like to see that, please let me know. And you guys can hang out with me, case suggestions, the whole thing, and see what it's like to tell a story live. And be involved in it and get to really be in it. So let me know if you guys want that, if that sounds interesting, and what days it would be good to have it on. And yeah, I'll work on doing that, because I think that would be a really cool thing. Maybe next week we can start that. Possibly Saturday nights would be good. Or Friday night. Well, Friday nights and Saturday nights are probably not going to be great for me. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. But thank you guys for being here with me. Thank you for supporting. Thanks for anybody who liked or joined. I really, really appreciate you guys. If you like true crime content, please come over and check out my page. Like I said, I'm doing some deep dives right now. That's my washer. I'm doing some deep dives right now. I did JonBenét. I did Idaho 4. I did Ellen Green. Well, I'm in Ellen Greenberg right now. And then I don't know what the next one's going to be. So comment below and tell me what you think a really good one would be for a deep dive. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for hanging out with me. Bye.